7-year-old Nia Williams from Riviera Beach, Florida, had shattered bones, skin mottled in purple and yellow. She was so small she could barely fill a hospital bed, slipped between life and death. Inside her, the damage was unspeakable. Her liver ruptured, her intestines ripped apart. She didn't die in an instant. She bled and she begged. And everyone who should have protected her turned away. Welcome back to Criminally Human, where behind every headline is a person, a story, and a tragedy that didn't have to happen. When police entered Nia's home, they found a nightmare. The bathtub was stained with dried feces, the refrigerator was empty, no food for a starving child. The house was filled with filth and neglect, reflecting the pain she endured. Nia's body was covered with bruises and injuries consistent with prolonged abuse. Innocence was forgotten and pain left to fester. Nia didn't die in a dark alley. She died in her own home, at the hands of her own mother. In 2017, Nia's mother abandoned her at birth. For 6 months, she lived with strangers in foster care. But despite pleas from those who loved her, she was returned to the very woman who had discarded her. For a brief time, Nia found peace. She was placed with 2 women, Rebecca Finley and Whitney Walker, who gave her a childhood filled with love. They say she was sassy, smart, obsessed with lip gloss and sandals, always wanting to help cook. For 3 years Nia thrived, but that didn't last. At age 5, the Florida Department of Children and Families returned her to her biological mother. That's when the abuse began again. Her former caregivers noticed the changes immediately. Nia looked thinner, sadder, emotionally shut down. They raised concerns repeatedly and begged for intervention. But DCF ignored the warnings. Medical records revealed repeated trauma-related fractures and burns, including a fractured right femur and a cut to the back of her head in April 2021. In September 2021, she was treated for a broken arm. In 2022, multiple burns from boiling water. She frequently missed school and was visibly in distress before her death. A teacher who spoke with police after Nia's death said she often came to school wearing dirty clothes and missed over 50 days that year. On April 25, Nia came to school very sick, unable to keep her head up, vomiting in the cafeteria, complaining of severe stomach pain and coldness. Neighbors stopped seeing Nia outside. Teachers noted her absence. Nurses observed signs. DCF visited 3 times in the month before her death. One caseworker even warned in a report, "The mother is going to end up taking one of her children's lives." And still no one saved her. The child who should have been protected was left to rot in silence. Her sister told police their mother would beat them with belts, metal pipes, even heels. But Nia was hit worst. Days before her death, she spilled cereal. Their mother forced her to lie on the floor and stomped on her stomach, like you stomp on an ant. When she couldn't clean fast enough, she was kicked repeatedly until she collapsed. Barely conscious, her mother poured cold water on her and forced her into a freezing shower while still clothed. Then she made her clean the toilet, scrub the sink, make the bed, and straighten the couch. Despite visible agony, barely able to walk, Nia was forced to carry out chores until her body gave out. She became violently ill, vomiting repeatedly, complaining of excruciating stomach pain. No one intervened. On April 28, 2025, a frantic 911 call came in. The caller's identity remains unknown, but their voice trembled with fear, pleading, "Please send someone right away. There's a little girl who won't wake up. She's cold, not moving, and badly hurt." The caller described the neglect and pain inside the house, begging for paramedics to hurry before it was too late. When paramedics arrived, Nia was already dead. The autopsy revealed the full horror. blunt force trauma, prolonged neglect, sepsis. Her intestines detached from her abdominal wall, her stomach filled with blood, and her liver torn. This was torture, and it was ignored. On June 26, 2025, a Palm Beach County grand jury indicted Nia Williams, Nia's biological mother, for first-degree murder and aggravated child abuse, a capital felony. But the system that allowed this. The cries ignored, the warnings unheeded. No apology. No explanation. Only silence, citing confidentiality under Florida statute. Rebecca Finley and Whitney Walker say they fought tooth and nail to get Nia back. "We fought to get that baby out of there," Finley said. But no one listened. DCF and ChildNet, the private agency involved, remained silent, protected not by justice but by bureaucracy. Nia Williams never stood a chance. Not because she wasn't loved, but because the system didn't love her back. Now her name echoes in courtrooms and advocacy circles as a call for change, oversight, and justice. But for Nia, it's already too late. Please like and subscribe, but most of all, stay human.